Good morning. So Watchtower, why so many activists speaking against what you're doing? We get a clue in 1 Kings 24, 1-4. This is about Jehoiakim, who ignored God's commands to stay under the king of Babylon's dominion, and he rebelled. So what did God do? Verse 2. The Lord sent against him bands of Chaldeans, Arameans, Moabites, Ammonites. So he sent them against Judah to destroy it. He'd given them enough time. Now why? What had Jehoiakim been doing? In Jeremiah 22:17, God says, "Your eyes and your heart are upon nothing but upon your unjust gain, upon the blood of the innocent one in order to shed it, and upon defrauding and upon extortion in order to carry them on." Watchtower has shed innocent blood by not helping those child abuse victims, by allowing others to be abused, by not doing anything about it. They've defrauded others by taking money from them under false pretenses, hiding secret rules which are illegal. So what is God going to do about it today? Ezekiel 33, 7 and 8. God says to Ezekiel, "Son of man, I have appointed you a watchman for the house of Israel, so you will hear a message from my mouth, and you will give them warning from me. When I say to the wicked, 'O wicked man, you will surely die,' and you do not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I shall require from your hand." So I particularly have a responsibility to explain to Watchtower that what they've done is wrong. And I did that. I sent them numerous letters to explain to them from the scriptures and from the law that what they were doing was really bad, both in God's eyes and in the eyes of the law. They took no notice. In fact, they came into court and they complained, saying, "Oh, she keeps sending us these letters and we have to take a lot of time to read them." Well, I'm delighted they read them. They've been warned. So what have they got to do? Well, in verse 7 and 8, God says that he takes no pleasure in the death of the wicked, rather that the wicked should turn from his way and live. God is giving Watchtower a chance to change. And what have they got to do in order to change? In verse 15 and 16 of the same chapter, "When I say to the wicked, 'You will surely die,' and he turns from his sin and practices justice and righteousness, if a wicked man restores a pledge, pays back what he has taken by robbery, walks by the statutes which ensure life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live." Watchtower has got to repent. In other words, they've got to recognize that what they're doing is wrong. They need to turn around and go in the opposite direction. They need to pay back what they have defrauded people with. They need to pay compensation to these young people who have been abused by their policies. Now, what basis do I base this on? Luke 19 and verse 8, and this is Zacchaeus, who was a hated tax collector. And he said to Jesus, "Lord, look, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount." Now, Watchtower will say, "Oh, we don't have to do that because we're not under the Mosaic law." But Zacchaeus was under no obligation to give half of his possessions to the poor. So Watchtower, please take notice of this. Pay back to these young ones who are asking for compensation. Stop spending money taking them to court, but give them the compensation they deserve. You will then have treasures in heaven. Don't spend your money on completely unnecessary video centres. It's a complete waste of money and I'm warning you now, God will not show you any favour in this matter. So apostate, or rather activists, will continue until Watchtower either puts things right or they have been stopped from doing their awful things, their unlawful things and unscriptural things, which causes untold harm. It must stop, but we will continue our work until they prevent the harm. But thanks for watching this. Take care now.